started. I just have a couple nuts and bolts to go over.
Okay.
The first is that what you say to me will be confidential. It is important to me that we build a trusting relationship, and that you can trust that what you say in this room will stay here. That confidentiality, however, does have limits. For example, if someone else is if I believe that someone is in imminent harm, either one of you or someone else, I will have to report to protect that person or part of you. And I'm also a mandated reporter, which means that if I suspect that there is abuse, neglect, or harm to a minor, I will have to report that to the Department of Health and Family Services.
Okay.
All right.
You won't have any problems with us.
Through our sessions, it looks like when we see a lot of you together, which would be excellent. If I end up seeing you as an individual, given that you're a minor, your guardians will have access to your notes. We will work together to build a relationship, because having your trust does matter.
Yeah.
And at the end of the day, that is part of HIPAA. Yes.
I'm sorry, I have a quick question.
Yes.
So I am her primary caretaker. Would you need a signature from both parents, or is it okay if I'm the only one to sign it?
It depends on who has custodial power. So if you are her, so if you have sole custody, then I only do.
Yes.
Then I only
Okay.
do.
Perfect.
Yes. Also, I'm a student, and which is awesome. So, but it does mean that my supervisor will see my notes, and we will be recording sessions. But that will only go to my supervisor, and outside of the use for supervision, it will be destroyed, the films.
Okay.
I will take notes during my session, keep records. I'll show you the notes at any time if you want to see them.
Okay.
So if you ever see me writing, you can ask what I'm writing. I'm happy to show you. And then, right, and back to if we ever do sessions that are just individual sessions, my policy on secrets is that I don't keep secrets. So if you have something that you are working on sharing with the other person, I'm happy to help you figure that out and help you come to a place where we can do that as a group. And I'm not a good place to come if you have something that you don't want the other person to know. That makes sense. Questions?
That sounds good to me.
All right. Wonderful. So can I ask, what brings you here?
Well, I just kind of noticed there was a little bit of conflict in between us, and just, I really care for you, I really love you, and I want to make sure that you have another safe space to go. So looked online, found somebody that was a little bit closer to her age. I thought maybe that would be a little bit nicer for you.
I think she's closer to your age, Mom.
Okay. Thank you. But yeah, I just thought it would be kind of a good place to work through any issues, or even something to kind of set, I don't know what the word for it, a foundation, I guess, for just good communication in the future as well. Yeah, and then you didn't really put a fight about it, so I assume that you are okay with it.
Yeah, I feel like there's a couple things that we could probably talk about. Having maybe somebody an expert present might be good, just because I think I need help telling my mom kind of what I need from her, and I don't know how to do that. And I love my mom, but sometimes I do have just things I want to say, but I don't know how to say it, because no offense, but you're kind of emotional, and I don't want to make you, I don't want that to reflect on what you think of yourself as a mother, because my mom is my best friend and I love her, but I also I don't know, I think having this space might be good for us.
Nice. You said there's been some conflict in the relationship. Can I ask what that looks like?
Yeah, so this is really recent, but she's started dating.
Okay,
And
we're gonna bring that up so soon.
I'm sorry. It's just the first thing that came to my mind. But she's started dating, and she's young, and she's 14. I cannot believe that whole thing, but it's younger than I would like her to be dating, and I don't want to be a domineering mother. I don't want to tell her how she should live her life, but I want to make sure that she's in a good place, and it's a little confusing to navigate.
I also think that maybe some of that has to do with like, so it's just been me and my mom like literally ever since I was born, and we have a really close bond, and again, I love her, but sometimes I do feel like our relationship is like more friends than like mother-daughter, and like I like how open it is, and I like how close I am with her, because like I have friends who are not that way with their like moms, but I also feel like I'm starting to experience things, but I know like when she was my age, she was going through her own stuff, and so sometimes I feel like she just kind of projects that onto me. Like, I'm not gonna get pregnant like you did when you were 16. Like, I understand your concerns, but I also like, I want a life outside of our relationship.
It's just that's what I said to my mom when and I had a very different relationship with her,
But I'm different than you.
How would you describe your relationship with your mother?
I'd say it's tense. I don't really have a very close relationship with her. I see her every other holiday. We like to sometimes have our own celebrations, just us. We're just different people, and I've learned to make my peace with that.
And when you were Violet's age?
Oh God. Oh man, no, it was fire and brimstone when we were in the same room together. It was constantly at war, just a lot of screaming, fighting. We did not see things the same way.
And how do you think that that experience reflects into your relationship with your daughter?
I've tried, really hard to move away from that. And it's something that I work on actively every day. It's hard to, I worry sometimes that I have my mother's temper. And that's something that I don't ever want you to experience, but I know that you're always so lucky. But in all, I try to be there for her. I try to, let her know I'm here not just as a mom, but as a friend. And I won't lie, it does hurt my feelings that's something that you reject.
Well, like, I don't reject it because I understand, like, you were young when you had me, and I know that, like, I'm kind of getting to the same age that you were when, you and Dad got together. But I also feel like, I don't want to, like, say this out loud, but, like, sometimes, like, I feel like you keep me away from Grandma. And, like, I know you have a really rough relationship with her, and I do understand that. I want to understand that better. But she's also my grandma, and she reaches out to me, and I feel like I'm betraying you when I, like, talk to her, and I'm trying to kind of, like, see her the way that you see her, but I don't know, because she's nice to me, so I don't know.
I appreciate you bringing that into the space and naming your feelings on the relationship with your grandma. I'm hearing that, like, although your relationship with your mother might be better now, it wasn't so good when you were this age, and like that the way that you grew up is really impacting the way that you think about parenting and like the kind of relationship you want with your daughter.
For sure.
Do you think there's a way to marry marry the ideas of the relationship that she wants to have with you and the relationship that um, and while still not having the same relationship that you had with your mother?
I have to be honest, that's a very heavy question for me right now. I'm not sure if I could answer that at this moment.
It's a big one.
Yeah, but that's something I can think about. Just, I'm not sure yet what that would look like. I think, I think that's the life mission, right? How do we take the good parts of both that relationship and our relationship now and make it into a perfect parenting style? I think people are still trying to figure it out. So yeah, I'll have to think on that one.
Yeah. So you said it's always just been the two of you. Is that correct? Outside of the two of you, what does the rest of your family look like?
It's pretty much just the two of us, honestly. I am in contact with my dad a little bit, but him and mom are not on the best of terms, so I try not to contact him too much, but I also feel like, I don't know, like he wants a relationship with me, and then I can't talk to her about that because I know what she thinks of him. But
I
it's
know
like,
him, but
yeah, I know you have your history.
You had a strong strong reaction to her describing wanting a relationship with her dad.
he's a sperm donor at best. He is just not, and I know that you don't like me talking about it my way, and I'm sorry. He's never been around. He's never supported child support where it's ridiculous to think of him now as a father, and I'm sorry, I'm getting ahead of myself.
No, I understand, Mom. You, obviously there's a lot of history there. There's a lot that I don't know about. I know like he put you through a lot, and it does make me feel bad whenever I talk to him. But I also feel like, my dad's Puerto Rican, and so that means I'm half Puerto Rican, obviously. So like he's the only like tie that I have to that, and so I don't really feel like I can connect to that part of myself without him, and so when I talk about that with mom, she gets a little emotional, and so then I just kind of have to like shut that part down. And it's like, but I'm not being true to who I am, so it's like trying to figure that out too.
Hearing that about the lack of cultural connection, what does that bring up for you?
Well, she's not wrong to get emotional. It's hard to hear that I'm not enough for you.
But that's not what I'm saying. I'm saying that because I want to connect to that part of myself. That's not diminishing what we have.
If it was enough for you, you wouldn't even need to connect with that part, with his part.
I guess that's true.
Why does it feel important to you to connect to your Puerto Rican heritage?
Because it's my Puerto Rican heritage, and I feel like there's a lot of stuff that I can't really get from, my mom's side of the family. And like, I know the history and stuff there, but it's also like, that's just half of who I am, I have this other half of me that I want to connect with. And like, I have friends who are from like various different backgrounds, like they're biracial, and so they, have friends who are similar to them. And
So is it a fitting in thing? Is it?
yeah, it's also like I want a community outside of you.
Got it.
hard to hear. How is that resonating with you?